Hello there! I'm Jamie from Supercool Pedals, and I think guitar pedals are true pieces of art. Wouldn't you agree, Henry?
That's right, Jamie!
I thought you just might. So today I'm gonna go over the entire Supercool pedal lineup and just give a quick overview of some of the features and effects that they offer. So just before we get going, our clean sound is going to be the Deluxe Reverb amp and my trusty made in Japan Jaguar here with humbuckers, okay? And the chain that we're gonna go through here starts over at the Supercool Spritz compressor, goes over to the Caffeine Boost, then we go back to the Fuzz Lite 800, and then all the way through here to the ZIG-ZAG, ending with the Buffula at the end. All right, so without further ado, let's get started. The Spritz compressor is my favorite Supercool pedal. It is a dead simple one knob dual JFET compressor. So its job is simply just to take your louds and your quiets and to level them out and give some nice sharp attack with your dynamics. So here we are without any effect. Now let's turn on the Spritz. Let's boost up the volume a little bit to match. This knob is just a volume knob. There is no ratio or compression control whatsoever on the Spritz. I wanted to keep it nice and simple. So you can tell it's just taming all of those dynamics. Play nice and quiet. And it outputs at a nice, decent level volume. And similarly, you hit hard, it squashes that down to a nice level volume. It gives some great attack when riffing too. And it gives just a little bit of low end boost to help fatten up and saturate whatever you want to put through it. It is the perfect compressor for those of you that don't want to mess with compressors. Just simply turn it on, put it at the front of your chain or at the end of your chain, and just enjoy constant, nice, juicy saturation no matter what you're playing, with no controls to confuse you. The Caffeine Boost Classic JFET is my favorite Supercool pedal. It is a single JFET transistor-based pedal that can offer some great light to mid-gain overdrives and also has a dirty boost mode that can give you a standalone distortion or overdrive sound as well. So let's listen to it in boost mode. There's our clean signal. Let's turn it on. We've got it at about unity right now. So you can hear it's just delivering a little bit of sweetness, a little added brightness because that JFET you're running it through just gives it a little bit of tube-like breakup. And now where it really shines is when we start turning it up and overdriving our amp with it. You can get those maxed out tube amp overdrive sounds without actually maxing out your amp. And it also has a button on the side here that introduces a pair of clipping diodes that turns it into a standalone distortion pedal. So now we can turn it back down and you can get just that straight up distortion, nice, transparent, not tonally changing anything. Nice and dynamic and responsive as well. Now, there is also a switch on the inside here that changes those clipping diodes from the pre-volume or post-volume mode. But the standard is pre-volume so that you just get a maximum amount of clipping, no matter where your volume is set. The 77 Fuzz Lite is my favorite Supercool pedal. It is the light version of the 77 Fuzz Blender, but it only has a full wet signal, so no clean blend, and it also has only the mid boosting tone stack. So let's just hear our clean signal for a second. And now, here's the fuzz. So, it is an op-amp big muff, but it focuses on boosting the mid-range instead of scooping them out. So our smoke control here, we can sweep through real quick. Goes from a bit of a darkened tone all the way to a brighter fuzz tone. Gives wonderful saturation, super stable op-amp fuzz, glorious mid-range that pops out from the mix or on stage. And it's a nice compact size and costs a few bucks less than our flagship 77 Fuzz Blender as well. The 800 Preamp Distortion is my favorite Supercool pedal. It's my version of the legendary DoD 250 Preamp or the MXR Distortion Plus, but it has more added mid-range and low end, as well as some variable clipping options. So let's just start here. Over here in the 0.1% mode is LED clipping, and let's just kind of put everything at unity and hear what it's doing. So there's our clean signal. And let's just turn her on. You can tell at unity, we just get a nice bit of tube-like breakup. Fattening that low end a little bit. Delivering that wonderful preamp crunchiness. And if we turn up the drive on the LED mode, we get a nice open clipping sound. We get into some really nice, bright, jangly 70s stuff. Wonderful, wonderful Marshall amp 800 style distortion out of that guy. Now we flip over to the 8% mode, and this gives us a pair of silicon clipping diodes that clip just a little bit more and give a little bit more fuzziness. Nice maximum distortion pedal. You can get a whole lot of overdrive and distortion sounds just out of the Supercool 800. The Barstow Bat is my favorite Supercool pedal. It's my take on the legendary Rat distortion pedal, but it has an active 3-band EQ added on top of some circuitry changes to make it a little bit cleaner as well. So starting out, let's just set our EQ to stock and hear how it sounds. Right out of the gate, you can tell we've got that nice signature Sliwy Rat sound. However, we've also got a button here that enables turbo mode, which brings things, ups the gain and has a more open clipping sound. And as well, let's take a look at this EQ section. We'll run through both the low, well, all the low, mid, and treble individually, just so we can give a full sweep and hear what they all sound like. Massive low end that you can add in with this. And it's important to note that the EQ is post distortion circuit, so you can make it nice and clean. Scoop out the mids and you can get that, you know, metally sound that a lot of people look for, that HM2-esque kind of EQ. You can boost them to get that Queens of the Stone Age-y little PV preamp kind of sound out of it as well. Treble, of course, you can roll off. And you can combine all of these to get some really awesome sounds. My favorite is full bass, boosting some mids, and rolling off that treble. This pedal has a huge amount of headroom and output. So what we can actually do is we can bring the drive all the way down till it's just sort of kissing that overdrive level. Now we're using a light gain rat with a huge amount of output. And we can now just boost specific frequencies on this EQ section. Use it as a light overdrive or boost pedal. Can get real bluesy. And it's also important to note that Premier Guitar gave us an award on this pedal in their May 2025 issue as well. Whoa. The 77 Fuzz Blender is my favorite Supercool pedal. It's our best-selling and flagship pedal for very good reason. It's based off of the Op Amp Big Muff by EHX, but it has a lot more tricks under the hood as well. Let's hear how it sounds. Now, its namesake gives you a clean blend option. So right now we're at full wet, but what you can do is you can start blending in your clean signal as well. This is awesome for bassists who want to let their natural low end bleed through, or to create nice parallel stacked effects with guitar as well. Now, big muffs sound awesome in your bedroom or in a guitar store because they have that wicked big scooped sound. However, as soon as you go to play them in a band setting or in a recording, all of that beautiful mid-range is gone and it kind of sounds like crap. So, my favorite mode on the 77 Fuzz Blender is this switch here, which instead of scooping out your mid-range, adds them back in, and now we're pivoting the smoke knob, which is essentially your tone control, on boosted mids. That sounds much better to my ears. So let's take a look at that smoke knob, because when you change this switch, you're actually swapping the tone stack entirely from your classic Big Muff op amp tone stack to the mid-boosted tone stack here, which actually swaps every component of the tone stack and has a different behavior on the smoke knob. And lastly, the 77 Fuzz Blender has this cigarette switch on the top here, which transforms it into a more gated fuzz face style fuzz pedal. Let's hear it. Now this is an awesome switch for lead parts, and because it's an op-amp style big muff, it fits anywhere on your board. You don't have to power it by battery, and you can get those awesome fuzz face sounds with a nice, super saturated and stable fuzz. The Thneed is my favorite Supercool pedal. It's my version of the legendary Klon Centaur pedal with a few other tricks under the hood. Typically, a Klon Centaur is a light to mid-gain overdrive. I like to call this a mid to high-gain overdrive because I never really vibed with Klons. I wanted to make something that goes a little bit harder and sounds a little bit fuller to my ears. So let's hear how it sounds. Right out of the gate, you get that wonderful, warm, rich mid-range overdrive sound that the Klon is known for. That I really can't do justice, but you can max out the gain and get a little bit more too. And the unless switch allows more bass to make its way through the overdrive circuit, in turn overdriving the last op-amp stage a little bit more and delivering a little fatter saturation. That's where I think the Thneed really sings. To make the Thneed even better, the Thneed features four different clipping diode options that you can select from on the inside of the pedal. The stock mode is silicon, which I actually think sound the best. But there's also true new old stock germanium diodes in there, Schottky diodes, and LEDs that you can play around with and see what sounds best to you. It's an awesome sounding Klon, and you don't have to spend $5,000 to get that legendary sound. The ZIG-ZAG analog Chorus-Vibrato is my favorite Supercool pedal. It's based off of the legendary EHX small clone chorus pedal, and it is a true analog bucket brigade chorus. Let's hear how it sounds. It has that rich, organic, lush chorus sound that you're looking for. And of course, the riff that it always wants you to play is the classic Nirvana stuff. But it's more than meets the eye because it goes a little bit further than what a normal chorus pedal does. With the controls, you can max out the depth and get a really, really deep, rich, lush, slow warble chorus. even get it close to that flanger effect by maxing down the speed, minimizing down the speed. Get that beautiful doubling, slow effect of that flange happening. Or you can max it out and get some really, really wild chorus sounds. You can even use just the clean vibrato only mode and turn off your dry signal, and now you have a standalone vibrato pedal too. I love using it as a lo-fi machine, just getting that nice subtle tape wow and flutter warble. And the reason you can get that clean is because I engineered the ZIG-ZAG very, very carefully to make sure that it is as transparent as possible of an effect. Meaning you can use it as a standalone vibrato, where normal Bucket Brigade choruses get a little bit dirty and punchy. And I'm really proud to say that Premier Guitar gave us a wonderful Premier Gear award on this, and they agreed with how transparent and wonderful this pedal really sounds. The Buffula is my favorite Supercool pedal. Put simply, it is an always-on buffer pedal that is my favorite buffer. It's actually out of the Klon Centaur that the Thneed has as well. A buffer's a really hard thing to quantify, but basically it helps to keep your signal strength nice and strong, and in this case, it is pulling through our signal all the way through these pedals and these cables in this guitar to ensure that it has a nice, strong, and healthy impedance level by the time we get to our amp. Long story short, if you don't already have a buffer on your board, then the Buffula might be a good idea to toss on there and just help clean up your signal and avoid any issues before you get them. Well, there you have it, the entire Supercool pedal lineup. For now. If you like what you see and hear, you can always shop online for Supercool pedals at www.supercoolpedals.com or at a local dealer or retailer near you. And you can find one by going to the dealers tab of the website. We've got dealers across the globe who are ready to serve you both in person or shopping online to your convenience as well. Thank you so much for joining Henry and I today on our listening adventure. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you like what you see. And I'm just gonna kind of stand here awkwardly for a little while the rest of the video plays out. So have a good one. There's actually someone at my door, I better go. Hey, how's it going? Not too bad.